Yes. Vlad, conqueror of the worlds, commander of dark forces, and currently the proud owner of a spaceship with all the mobility of a brick. Yes, my grand plan to rule the galaxy has hit a minor snag. No FTL drive. Brilliant. So here we are, tethered to one star system like an intergalactic houseplant. So, first order of business, we're off to the Ark Ruins, a place that sounds ancient, powerful, and probably smells faintly of must and irony. And here we meet Escher, a lass with all the charisma of an asteroid, and the kind of attire that screams, I give quests to people for a living. Escher has 3 thrilling tasks for us, the first of which is rebuilding reputations, because apparently even intergalactic overlords have to think about public relation these days. It's all about brand building, which as you can imagine is exactly what I signed up for. Next up is visit the outpost. No idea why. I'm pretty sure it's code for pop down to the space mall, pick up a few essentials, maybe even a space movie. And the best one? Interstellar travel. Now that actually sounds useful. It's the one quest that promises to get my FTL drive back in order, so we can finally take this conquest tour on the road. With the FTL drive fixed, we'll be free to spread across the galaxy, leaving awe and possibly a mild sense of confusion in our wake. But until then, we're at the mercy of Escher and her essential errands. So yes, in a word, thrilling. With our newfound goals in hand, it's time for the pinnacle of errands. Visit the outpost. A quest that's almost insulting in its simplicity, but it's quick and easy, so let's get it over with. All we have to do is scan 8 objects that highlight green when you use your scanner. Yes, green, because it's apparently the key to unlocking our future as a feared galactic overlord. So what are these prestigious scavenger hunt items? The Terramart, the custom sign shop, the Penguin Bar, because no conquest is complete without a pint. Then there's the Teleporter shop, Frog Furnishing shop, fascinating shop by the way, the Tech Console, the Storage shop, and of course, Penguin Pete's shop. Galactic essentials, naturally. We're not diving into details about each shop just yet. There's no sense in getting attached. Besides, we'll be back here about 37 times in the next hour anyways. A mystery for another video. And with that, ta-da! Quest complete. Now the proud owners of a map to a tier 2 dungeon called the Ancient Temple. Thrilling stuff, but again, one for another video. We chat with Escher a 3rd time. I mean, at this rate she's practically family. And receive another task. Find clues to locate the Florin artifact. Fantastic. With this ever-growing to-do list, we head back to our base. Next on the agenda, oil. Because apparently even aspiring overlords need a bit of DIY. So, we're on the quest for oil. Yes, oil. The lifeblood of the industry. And in our case, the ticket to advancing our plans for galactic domination. But in true Frackin Universe fashion, we'll have to make it ourselves. The Frackin Universe wiki informs us that there are 2 options for this noble pursuit. Option 1, put a single piece of corn into a hand mill. Efficient, but there's a catch. Corn takes up precious real estate, and I'm not exactly in the farming business here. Besides, it grows about as fast as my patience is running out. Then there's option 2, chucking 10 bones into a hand mill. Bones, you say? Yes, bones! Because what better symbol of an aspiring overlord than pulverized skeletons? By the way, if you're enjoying my noble endeavours and questionable errands, consider joining VGS today by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. It's what Vlad would want. Anyways, seeing as bones are plentiful and conveniently scattered around the starter planet, we'll go with option 2. A quick surface stroll, and we've got enough bones to last an eternity, or at least long enough to squeeze out some oil. So, Bones in hand, we toss them into a hand mill, crank it like we're back in the 90s, and et voila! Oil! Hardly a triumph, but it will do. We return to our Nova Kid subjugate, presenting her with our hard-earned bone oil. Only for her to hand us yet another demand, a lantern on a stick. Because clearly, no Galactic Overlord's toolkit is complete without a stick with a light on it. This little gem will of course require more oil. Lovely. Just the thing to keep us grounded in our journey to universal conquest, a continuous supply of lanterns on a stick. So, plan now is to get a greenhouse up and running along with a sprouting table. Even conquerors apparently need to dabble in agriculture. We'll save the details for another episode, but for now, let's slap down the greenhouse and make some corn seeds with the living root we picked up while spelunking. Corn, as you know, is the backbone of any self-respecting empire, or so I've been told. Armed with my trusty hoe and watering can, we head over to the roof and begin to plant our corn, the future overlord's secret weapon. And don't forget to put down the sprouting table, of course. This will be useful later. Once that's done, we finally have enough oil left to craft a lantern. And not just any lantern, oh no. This one is on a stick. Because nothing says galactic menace like walking around with a flashlight on a pole. But hey, at least it's a constant light source. Back to our Nova Kid subjugate, whom I now lovingly refer to as Nova Brat. Guess what? She's got her eye on a silver bar. Silversmithing, it turns out, is conveniently tucked away in the geology tab in our research screen. So we get our silver bar, hand it over, and finally we're granted access to something worthwhile. The mining laser. Ah, the mining laser, a tool worthy of any soon-to-be galactic tyrant. It's tucked away in the engineering tab, and it's actually useful. This little beauty makes early game excavations slightly less like digging through wet cement. Plus, it's upgradable. Yes, we can sink precious upgrade modules into it, turning it into an actual powerhouse. To get the mining laser set up, we unlock tinkering and advanced mining. For anyone wondering, this does require CO2, which I kindly explained how to gather in a previous episode. Check it out if you're curious. With our tinkerer's workbench up and the mining laser decked out, we're ready to finally say goodbye to our overly bright, bogey-coloured friend. A small triumph in this tedious tale of errands, but alas, our path to greatness is slightly less cluttered with chores. At last, the quest is complete, and with it, we've officially graduated from the starter planet. No more corn planting, no more Nova Brat errands. We finally focus on what truly matters, getting our FTL drive up and running. Or, as it turns out, our STL drive. Yes, slower than light. Glamorous. Out with the broken FTL, and in with this swanky new STL. It's not exactly conquest ready, but hey, baby steps. We're no longer a stationary ornament in the galaxy. Now, heading over to the navigation console, we discover we have full access to the entire system at no fuel cost. Yes, unlimited local travel. Forget warp speed, we're cruising around the solar system for free. But the real prize? We now have access to Arceus Crystal Fuel. Arceus Crystal Fuel, folks, found in its natural habitat, the depths of the moon, in either crystal or liquid form. Picture it, journeying into the eerie depths of the moon, digging up our very own crystals, all to keep this spaceship running. A small price to pay for a taste of the cosmos. So, with our shiny new mining laser in hand, we set our sights on the nearest moon, ready to mine some precious Arceus fuel. We beam down and immediately start losing oxygen. Wow, turns out even an immortal vampire can't exactly survive in the vacuum. Who would have guessed? To fix this, we'll need EPPs, Environment Protection Packs. A quick scan of our research screen reveals we can only make core packs, giving us a whopping 60 seconds of air. Is it ideal? Hardly. What we're really after is in the tier 2 equipment, specifically the breathing EPP. But for that, we'll need tungsten. I can practically hear you asking, but Vagrant, where do we get tungsten? Back to the navigation console. We inspect each nearby planet in orbit, discovering, surprise surprise, that none of the starter planets we're in have tungsten. So, we'll be cruising the system until we strike tungsten gold. But first, we change our ship's pet. This dog's panting is about to make me smash my face into the nearest window and inhale some lovely space dust. Finally, we settle on a fluorine-infested planet, ripe with tungsten. Time for more thrilling spelunking with our trusty new mining laser. We beam down and get to work. Planetside, we come across a rare ghost creature and promptly give it the old Vladdy special. There's also some tall fluorine hut on stilts with a map inside, mapping the coordinates to a tier 2 dungeon called the Verdant Ruins. Intriguing, but for now, our focus is clear. Tungsten. Down in the depths, we found ourselves an amber biome. Fascinating stuff if you're into amber. Beyond that, it's all business as usual. Hacking, mining, muttering to myself as we collect tungsten for our future gear. With tungsten in hand, we're now able to upgrade a host of benches, but priority 1, getting our breathing EPP ASAP. We unlock tungsten equipment, giving us access to tier 2 gear, and at last, the breathing EPP. To craft it, we need oxygen, and to get oxygen, we need water from a centrifuge. Doing it this way does take a while, so we'll keep ourselves busy while the centrifuge does its thing. And here it is, our shiny new breathing EPP, granting us the freedom to explore space without, suffocating to death. Finally, we're ready for a grand lunar excavation with nothing, absolutely nothing to stand in our way. Except that. Minor setback. It seems the moon has a bit of a spectral pest problem. Back from our latest lunar escapade, Urkius fuel in one hand and a newfound terror of the moon in the other. Now it's finally time to move up in the world, quite literally. We dive into the research screen and unlock faster than light. This gives us access to the warp manifolds, which when combined with our trusty STL drive will allow us to build one thing that's been eluding us so far, the FTL drive. At last, we install the FTL drive in its rightful place, fuel it up with our hard-earned Icarus fuel, and just like that, the universe is ours to conquer. No more piddling in a single system. We're now free to spread fear, confusion, and mild irritation across the entire cosmos. Now that we're finally prepared to conquer the stars, it would be a shame to do it looking like we've just crawled out of a space thrift shop. Wouldn't you agree? Thankfully, tier 2 equipment is finally within reach, so let's get ourselves a look worthy of a cosmic overlord. With our remaining tungsten, we craft a full set of tier 2 footman armor. Very distinguished. We'll add a tungsten crossbow and a tungsten sword, and just for that Castlevania flair, a silver whip. Because if you're going to conquer the galaxy, you may as well do it with a bit of style. Oh, and let's not forget the piece de resistance, a golden scythe. Why, you ask? Well, it's a golden scythe. Look at it. Nothing says I'm here to harvest souls or space cabbages quite like a scythe forged from pure gold. So with our new wardrobe and arsenal complete, we're officially ready to start striking fear into the galaxy, and we'll do it dressed to the nines. Prepare yourselves, universe. You're about to be conquered by a vampire who knows his aesthetics.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, it helps me out.